All right, good morning, everybody. We are here, it is live, and this morning, Mbulelo and I are joined by the brilliant Trevor Gumbi. It's good to see you, man.
Good to be seen, Gareth.
Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking fresh and ready to conquer the day. You must teach me how to do that. I feel like I've been pushed backwards through a combine harvester. Fucking hell.
It's actually an ancient remedy which is
Hang
new
on a
to
second.
modern
Hang on, I just gotta
science.
turn this down. What did you say?
It's why I look so good. I'm using this ancient remedy.
Yeah.
It's an Eastern Asian remedy, but it's new to modern science. It's tested on Himalayan gold herders in North Korea,
Yes.
called X190.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on that.
How does it work?
Basically, what you do is an ice cold enema, and the shards of ice that you squirt up your rectum, they help bleed your lower intestine.
Yes.
Of yeah, no, don't put shards of ice up your rectum because I said so. It's the diabetes. That's why I lost weight.
This is not good health advice, by the way. This is not
No,
the name of the show. Isn't great health advice with Trevor Gumbi, and it's being followed by billions of people all over the world who want to live long and prosper. Jesus, can you imagine waking up like some people do go for these enemas, huh?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, the coffee enema.
Yeah, it's like a housewife in Los Angeles thing. They all go down to the little man who lives in a little office building, and he puts a pipe up their assholes, and then he squirts up coffee, which wakes up supposedly their intestine, and then they have to what do they call it? Purge all of the stuff from the coffee enema, and supposedly it makes them feel very good. These housewives hasn't really
Yeah.
spread to other demographics though. It seems to
No,
be largely confined to the white suburban Los Angeles housewife. It's a very
it's a
particular
it's a
part.
it's a bunch of Karens who haven't tested the who haven't checked the sexual offenses record. Maybe the guy who's doing these things is a sexual deviant who just wants to watch.
Yes. Yeah.
Good morning, Mbulelo. How are you doing, bro?
No, I'm taking down notes. Modern science.
Traumatized.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm open to new ideas. This is awesome. Who knew shards of ice up the backside? That's all I needed to look
Yeah.
like Trevor Gumbi.
And coffee. You can just put it all in once, make a mochaccino, and then take a Bosca.
What a thing. People will do anything to like try and gain an advantage for themselves over others, like hot coffee enemas and these people who do these ice baths. I don't know if you've seen that's become a big thing too. And saunas. Like people do all of that shit. Oh look, I've just got into load shedding. Isn't that nice? We're still on though. We're still on though. So good luck to anyone who tries to stop this show.
Do you have a UPS or generator?
Oh yeah. No. When we decided to do the show from my house, we had to have some kind of redundancy plan. So this is it. You're going to see me half in the dark. The only thing I haven't got working is the lights, but everything else is on. So
Okay,
this is
I
great.
But it's important at this stage to say, please don't live your life in the dark, Gareth. I know that's
No.
literally happening now, but in a
know.
metaphorical sense, please don't embrace that and take that on as a life message. Yeah.
No, I
So
won't.
that's what
And trust
Okay,
me, most
no, cool.
South Africans are choosing to live their life in the dark. This is just the ANC's way of reminding you elections are coming, and please don't vote for us again because we hate responsibilities.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, their timing couldn't be more shit. We've had like 2 or 3 months of no load shedding. Remember? Things were looking
Right.
up.
Right.
And now suddenly it's almost as if they are the world's most self-destructive organization. Because just before the elections, they're like, we haven't fucked up enough. Let's remind them with a little dose of load shedding just pre the elections. This is perfect. Because
Yeah.
we've got half a month until people go to the polls for their local and municipal stuff. And there's not a lot of options on the ballot paper. But one of the worst options you can have is to go and vote for these clowns again, because they're trying their best to prove to us that they will fuck up everything they touch. everything they touch turns to shit. I haven't seen, and I don't know whether you have, I haven't seen one election poster for the ANC up anywhere. They're not even campaigning this year. They're not even trying.
Oh, that's true, eh?
Yeah.
Come to think
They have
of it,
no
I haven't seen a poster.
Yeah, they've got no money. So the only posters you'll see are Herman Mashabas are all over the place because he's got money. The DA, the Vryheidsfront Plus, and I've seen a couple for Patricia de Lille, but those are all in the Western Cape. Otherwise, I don't see. I see nothing else. No one else is campaigning. EFF have got no money. They've spent all that VBS cash, and the ANC is obviously the ANC can't even pay the people at Luthuli House. So
true.
I don't know what's happening there.
You know what really frustrates me, guys, about load shedding is that if you don't have a generator and you don't have UPS, then your alarm system, your beams, and your electric fence don't actually work after a certain amount of time. And then the crooks out there have an app to know where the electricity is out and how long it will be out for. It's ridiculous. I don't feel safe.
Correct.
That's a good point.
Well,
yeah,
I didn't think about it that way, but they can just get the app and they can check when various neighborhoods are out, and then they can like clean up that neighborhood.
Yeah. I guess I'm just paranoid because I had a home invasion a few months ago, which was quite traumatic that my family's still in counseling for.
Jesus, dude, what happened?
I had moved to a farm in Chartwell. That's towards Lanseria. So it was a nice big farm. All the neighbors have horses and stuff like that. And we were just partying up until like midnight. I had passed out and the rest of my family and friends were still out. And 5 guys scaled the wall, fully armed, tactical gear, like the kneecaps and the elbow pads and bulletproof vests and masks. And they just came into the house and just like tied everybody up. They walked the kids up, tied them up, and everyone was on the floor. And they spent 2 hours in our house cleaning up everything, like all TVs, computers, laptops. They took uncooked food. They took cooked food, 2 cars, and they just like left us tied up after 2 hours. That is after they traumatized my kids with taking a family portrait off the wall. And we're like, yeah, you see this? We know your parents. We know he's Trevor Gumbi. We'll come back for you if he comes for us. And yeah, the one guy even said, while they were ransacking the house, the one guy said, oh, let's rape the women and children. And another one of them was like, no, this is why we'll never work with you again, because that's not what we're here for. So.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
What a horrible thing. That is probably one of the most horrible stories I've heard in a long time, because honestly, people don't really share those stories anymore. And we've kind of become used to being in South Africa and having these shit things happen to people. But that you're so calm in telling the story is just horrendous. Are your kids? You say they're in counseling at the moment. They're getting counseling for what happened.
Yeah, we all are. My wife's office has something called ICAS. So you can get like rehab for free and therapy for free. So we do the family therapy and we do the individual therapy. But I had to move because I wasn't catching a wink of sleep. Every little sound just woke me up. And there was like a spree of these break-ins, and they killed one of the neighbors by shooting him through his window.
Jesus.
And on the WhatsApp group, another neighbor used to spend all his nights on his roof with his rifle.
My God, I mean, this is no way to live.
No, it's not.
How long ago did this happen?
4 months ago. April the 26th.
And obviously, nobody knows who these guys are. You say they were in tactical gear, so they sound like they're professionals at this.
Yeah.
Were they looking for anything in particular, or is it just opportunistic?
Well, they were asking for guns. They kept on asking me where my guns are. And when they went to the safe, they only found the magazine. And then they were like, where's the guns? Where's the guns? And that was like, all of them just kept asking for the guns. And like, we found the magazine. Where's the rest? So that was a big thing. And then they also were like taking turns to go shopping. That's in my wardrobe. They went to take like jeans, my wife's clothes, shit like that.
You know, it's not even, I mean, taking jeans and clothes, it's not even, to do that to a family, to like tie people up and to talk like this around them, traumatize these kids for probably something they'll never forget in their whole lives over clothes and stuff. It's just ridiculous.
And food.
Like it's so basic. It's not even a, you know, like high level kind of, they're breaking in because they're coming to get hold of your, I don't know, you mentioned guns, but like maybe you have, I don't know, Krugerrands or something, you know?
Yeah, something
There's nothing
significant.
like that. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, because I remember it was my son's birthday, so we had a bride, and at the time they came in, the food was still laid out. They took all their cooked food. Like, who takes chakalaka? What do you pour it in? Do you like look for my condoms and put minestrone soup in a condom, tie it up for your family? Can you imagine? He got home, he's like, I've got minestrone soup and chakalaka and 2 different condom flavors. Sorry if the chakalaka tastes like strawberries.
And you have no idea who these guys are? There was no clue as to, are they just like a roving band of like criminals who go from house to house? Is this what they do?
Yeah, I think the gang that met in prison, because what they used to call each other, what they called each other on the night was achus or fader. And those are terms used in prison. Achus is what the prisoners called each other, and the prisoners called the wardens fader. So I knew that they had spent some jail time from the way that they speak. But the fact, what made me nervous was the fact that they were fighting amongst each other, which frightened me, because that would make them erratic. If they're not organized and they fight amongst each other, they might hurt us just to prove a point to the other.
What was the worst thing for you, being in a situation where you couldn't protect your family, where you were completely neutralized? I mean, like, for any man, you know, we would all fight to the death to protect our kids and our family, and we would obviously make the right decision to survive for ourselves. But because you didn't have that option, like there was no way for you to kind of to take control of the situation. You were just caught off guard, like anyone in a home invasion. You were one of the victims, essentially. Was it horrible to feel that powerless? Is that the worst part of it for you?
I think you're spot on, Gareth. I think you're spot on. It's feeling powerless and not being able to protect my family. And you know that I've gone through bouts of feeling inferior and feeling emasculated. And that all stems from the power taken away from me in my youth, when I was molested as a child, you know. So there was all of that coming back, being feeling powerless and feeling unable to protect my family. But at that point, when they were like, let's rape the women and children, I was like, well, you're not going to have my children growing up the way I did. I was ready to get up, and I did get up, but the one guy put his boot on my back and pushed me back down and whispered in my ear, Gumbi, don't worry, that's not going to happen. One of the guys said that, whispered into my ear.
So they knew who you were, and that was meant to make you feel better. Oh my God. You must have had chills, dude. Jesus, that's horrible. What a horrible story. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to anyone who thought that Trevor Gumbi was going to come on this morning and make us laugh, because he's done the opposite.
Well, I was also upset at the fact that they didn't even look at my wife's ass while she was tied down.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, there's the Trevor Gumbi. Oh my God.
Look at her ass, guys. They just walked over her like she was one of the dudes.
Well, listen to this.
I've got her doing 50 squats a morning now.
Oh my God, stop it. Jay Keith says, I was robbed in the same way. I was tied up and terrorized while babysitting at 13. They were in the house for an hour, a crew of 4 guys. That shit screws you up for life. I'm glad that your family are getting counseling. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's a
Now,
situation.
how many
Hey,
lived experiences are there like this in South Africa? And then we should feel safe with our policing and
No.
our electricity supply. Oh, and another thing, when I reported it and I was going back and forth to the police station that I went to, in the news, 4 of the police officers that served there were arrested for housebreaking.
Oh, you see, this
Yeah.
is yeah. You're on your own, man. There's no one to come and save you in South Africa now. I mean, there's the whole idea that you could call the police and they'll do something. It's like it's kind of ridiculous, you know.
And now they want to take our guns away.
Well, Yonda says, I was going to visit Trevor the following morning and I couldn't get hold of him for 4 days until he told me that story. I hope those fuckers are half dead now.
Yeah, Yonda Niki. That's a friend of mine, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus,
wow.
dude.
Yeah, you know, Trevor, what you're saying is very interesting. So it happened to me about 3 years ago on top of Table Mountain,
No.
and a similar thing that happened was.
Hold on. On top of Table Mountain.
Yeah.
So you were living on top of Table Mountain as a vagrant.
No, well, I'm closer. I'm closer. So we go to the mountain. You see it as a vagrant. For
You
me,
got
it's a rite
robbed
of
getting
passage.
circumcised.
No, it was a rite of passage. Yeah, but Trevor, if I'm gonna become a man, I still need my latte. You know what I mean? I'm all for the closet traditions, but I still need that soft life. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it in the Eastern Cape. So Table Mountain, they can still hike up.
But just tell him the truth. So you went for a hike because you actually haven't discussed this on the show before, and the fact is, like, you still the court case is still ongoing or something.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. Yeah.
Just explain to Trevor what happened and everybody else.
So yeah, I mean, similar thing. So I went for a run, and these guys. What's funny is I actually saw them on the way up, and it didn't really click in my mind what they were doing. But anyway, went up, and eventually, when I came down, I still saw the guy hours later. Anyway, when I came back, the guy chased me with this like a knife. Anyway, walking up, eventually, because I outran him, because mountain running is something I do. But as I turned around, actually, because I was looking back to see if he was following me. And as I turned around, the guy, so as I looked up, because the escape route was uphill. And as I looked up, a guy had a knife to my throat. Anyway, so to cut a long story short, they stripped me naked, took all of my stuff, right? And then I thought, oh, okay, cool. They just want my stuff. Whatever, I can buy more stuff. Then they led us off into the bushes, or they led me off into the bushes. Yeah. So now I'm naked, mountain, whole vibe now. So they pull me in the bushes, and then I get there.
What time of day is this? So we can get
this was about. I was up there at about 5 o'clock. So let's say about 7. It was about 7 o'clock
in the morning.
Yeah, about 7 a.m. But here's the kicker, right? I get there, and there's already 2 guys naked and tied up on the floor, and now it's clear where this is going, right? Anyway, I don't want to bore you with what they were saying, and it's a very similar to what you were saying. I could hear that these guys had done this before, but weren't organized, because some of the debates were things like, should we stab this guy, that guy, not stab him? You know what I mean? So it was an extremely interesting thing to hear what you're saying but there was an interesting moment for me as I was going through this situation. So I was the only black guy up there, because trail running, no black people are up there. It's because I could understand the guys because they were speaking closer, right? I was the only person who could understand. There was a moment where I accepted the death thing because I could hear that these guys were monsters. So for me, actually, and I've spoken to the other victims of the situation, was that actually it was easier for me, and I feel horrible for you and the rest of your family, in that, there's a certain peace to accepting death in a situation, because I'd completely accepted that these are monsters and we are all dead. They're already talking about stabbing quite easily. So, but the other guys didn't know what they were saying the whole time, because the guy said, we're going to stab these guys. And they were saying to me, hey, bro, sorry. Because essentially it came down to, hey, sorry to leave you with these dead people, because the other guys were white guys. It did also come down to that, and at the end, something interesting happened. The guy said, did you stab the black guy as well? and I could hear them screaming and shouting to say one of them should go back, and eventually they decided not to. Yeah. So it was interesting to me to hear the erratic thing, though. I totally kind of identified in that moment. Was once I knew they were erratic and fighting amongst each other, I was like, okay, anything's possible here. You just got to accept that this is your last day on earth. Had a pretty good run. So
Jesus, man.
I empathize.
You didn't. So did anyone get stabbed?
Yeah. No. The other guys got stabbed. Yeah.
Oh my God! And they didn't stab you.
Yeah. No, they didn't stab me. But I mean, yeah, it was bad, like in the jugular, and it was hectic. No, it was proper.
Did they both survive?
Yeah, no. The other 3 guys did survive, and it was ridiculous because the horrible thing, the way it happened was that when they decided, hey, we're out of here, it was also that thing because we were tied up, right? So my hands were tied up, and the way I was laying, I was looking directly at one guy. I was kind of on a hill, and the way they did it, so I mean, it's pretty gruesome. But the one guy, they stabbed him like in the jugular here, and then the blood started spewing out his mouth. But the way they did it, right, was that I didn't have time to close my eyes because it wasn't like they warned. It was just like, okay, boom, they're getting out of here. And the guy just whipped out this massive knife. And listen, I come from a rural family, so I know somebody who stabbed cattle. Like this guy's clearly stabbed to kill before. And he stabbed the guy. And it's a deeply moving thing to see, like this guy's eyes. And it's pretty hectic. So I do identify a little bit with Trevor. I mean, yeah, my one, I mean, to have your own family is especially in your own home. Oh my God,
guys,
man!
When did this?
I'm never going on Table Mountain again, and I'll never look at the hillsides of the Eastern Cape the same, because the hillsides of the Eastern Cape are littered in the foreskins of Xhosa men, which make for lush greenery. Just don't walk barefoot; it's too squishy.
Dogoza says, geez, I used to hike up Table Mountain around that time almost every morning. So glad that didn't happen to me. So they caught these guys, and they're currently on trial, right?
Yeah, what's hilarious is by the time we got down to the Sandparks offices, they'd caught 4 of the 5. They were all sitting there. The other one had escaped. It was a really, really interesting circumstance. Yeah.
You know what bothers me about that story and about Trevor's is why the need to be shitty about it. Like, theft is, we can all rationalize it. It's like maybe someone's really hungry and desperate. It doesn't make it right, but they can take your stuff. You're like, all right, fine. Take my stuff. It's fine. Just don't traumatize my family. Don't stab someone. What do you need to do this for? Why is there always this accompaniment of horrible, monstrous violence with it? That's what I will never understand. What is the need to have to, after they've taken all your stuff and tied you up naked, what's the need to have to stab someone in the throat?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I think our society has been dehumanized, and we just don't feel anymore. And it's also a feeling of power for people who've been, what would you call it, marginalized or something, but people who've never felt power at their own hands, and they want to feel it through somebody weaker than them.
Well, those are the same guys who rape, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sexual assault is not about orgasm. It's about power.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a horrible story, both of you.
Here we are.
Yeah, we're trying to make everybody happy first thing on a Wednesday morning, and we've got 2 crime survivors here.
Oh, I'd stay in this country for. I want to stay here, but the crime, Gareth, it's why I have to go to Australia. I don't want to leave my family.
It's fine. I realized that I was molested as a kid because I was a sexy baby. All right. That's how I feel good about that. I was a sexy baby.
If anybody has come onto the show for the first time this morning, they're like, there's this show, I haven't checked it out yet. Let me go on YouTube or on podcast and just check out this show. They'll never come back. This is the last time we'll ever catch those people again. Finished now. Oh my goodness. What a waste. Anyway, listen. I flew back from Georgia yesterday. I was in Neisner. There was this thing I did for Tourvest. I met such an awesome crowd of people. But I landed there on Monday afternoon, and went straight through to this event. They were holding their conference. You've never met such crazy people in your life. They had a party on Monday night, a Mexican party on a Monday night to start the thing, where everybody got drunk. Everyone.
Tequila drunk.
Yes, that's all they had for drinks there. People were getting plastered on a Monday night, and they are fun people. All of them are professional drinkers. It was amazing. Amazing.
You got to be a professional to have a Mexican-themed party, because
On a Monday.
Mexican food and tequila, you'll be going to the toilet every 30 minutes. It's like drinking Jägermeister and eating Brooklaks as a snack.
No, it was bad. I had to. So eventually, at about 8:30, and there's still like a curfew in place in some of these obviously restaurants and things. They have to be closed by, I think, 11 or whatever. So somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock, I looked at the situation and realized like it wasn't going to get better for me if I stayed longer. There would be a lot more outrageous behavior and more drinks, and I was just not up for that because I had shit to do the next day. Part of the reason I was there was to do this thing yesterday. Anyway, so I decided to walk back at 9 o'clock at night on my own. Luckily, I mean, there may be there may be a drug trade in Knysna, because they've got the little bay, the lagoon, and what ships do apparently is they dock just outside of Knysna, and then they send in little tender boats with drugs on them.
Ah,
And Knysna is one of the biggest places where drugs enter South Africa, because there's no port authority. So if you can get your little boat through the heads, you can find a place somewhere, a little house or wherever it is that they do the actual delivery, and you can deliver like millions of rands worth of drugs, and then it can go into the country from there, because there's no port authority. It's every man for himself. So I was walking back, but I didn't think about any of that stuff. I walked back to the hotel, and luckily, I had my phone with me, so I could use like a navigation app to find my way back. But I don't know how long the rest of them carried on partying for. And the next morning, they were all fresh as a daisy, which proves that they're professionals. They're professionals. These are not amateur
also,
people.
if you have cocaine delivered to your bay without port authorities, you'll be fine at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't think these people were doing. They were drinking a shit ton of tequila, I can tell you that much. But I found it interesting that Knysna, which is this quiet, peaceful little place, people don't really talk about Knysna when they talk about the cities and towns in South Africa. But that's one of the things that goes on there when it's dark, is you got little boats coming in.
Is that also why there's a lot of perlemoen smuggled from there? And what's that other thing that's like squid?
Like calamari.
No, man. What's the other thing? They make a huge fuss about it. I don't know anything about it. It's like fucking rhino horn to me. It's alien.
I know about perlemoen. I don't know about any others. But that's a whole thing there, and the whole way up to the Transkei as well. That's kind of what they do there.
Oh yeah,
because there's no one's who's patrolling. Like we talk about how you can't even live your life peacefully without a home invasion. Who do you think's patrolling the sea? I mean, that's a large expanse of play. Who's looking at every beach while we sleep at night? No one's doing that. So you can imagine what goes on the coast. It's a wild west,
It's like, Knysna's perfect, because really the people that live down there are 4th, 5th generation. I inherited this place from my grandparents. So it's not like dynamic people, it's just like hippies. It's a bunch of hippies who are living off their trust funds, most of them. And I love Knysna, forgive me for all of their. So nobody's ever going to go question that, because they're busy meditating in the forest. I mean, it is an incredible place. But I quickly want to tell you something that's also true is, most of the marijuana in this country comes through Lesotho, right? I don't want to say the mountain pass, because I don't want to mess with people's business. And how I know this is, for 5 years in a row, I did a pilgrimage on my own, and I always used to see the guys, and I've chatted to them, where they're carrying marijuana with donkeys in I do something called the Grand Traverse, which is traversing the Drakensberg on my own, right? And I do it over 8-9 days on my own. But I see these guys all the time, and I know the mountain pass they use. In fact, let me tell you the truth. Everybody knows. The police know, because some of the marijuana fields There's
Yeah.
one in particular at that border, sort of up there from the police station. It's about 800 meters away from the police station where the guys plant.
Yeah.
So most of our drugs come through the Lesotho mountains, or where the Drakensberg meets Lesotho in South Africa. Just so you know.
Yo, Ixnay on the snitching snay.
That's why I didn't say the pass. It's a big place. It's a big place.
Yo.
Oh wow. Well, Mfundo says he can confirm that story of yours about the weed.
But our
But
police,
you're allowed-
Trevor, you've seen the size of our police. They're not getting up there. They can't even
No.
come to our homes. They're not
No.
hiking up there. Don't worry. There's no way.
No, they're busy eating a quota on the side of the road, waiting waiting for KFC bribes. Pretty much, they move from one free meal to the next. Our police. That's their whole thing.
A kota's one of the most nutritious meals one can eat. That is
You think
yeast, barley, polony, not the fucking fancy polony. You gotta have that red polony. That red polony that's just made out of pig testicles only. None of the hooves and cartilage, just testicles, okay? Then you gotta have free-range eggs fried into that bastard, and a block of cheese that melts like wholesome. It is the best food ever. Don't fuck around with the quota, Gareth.
Oh my God. So Dr. Robbins says Port St. John's is another place where that sort of thing happens. People smuggle stuff in.
Yeah, of course.
No one's watching this stuff. There's no one paying attention. I mean, listen, how many of us know at least 10 people? All of us know at least 10 people who've crossed the border from Zim. And there's no border. You just climb under the fence, and then you hope you don't get eaten by something on the way across, like a crocodile in the river or a lion or whatever. Because if you go too close to the Kruger Park side, there is a chance that animals will eat you. But if you can make it through there, once you're into Limpopo province, you're home free. Nobody's watching. There's no one sitting on a tower with a gun, like going, "Oh, we're going to protect our borders." It's the Wild West.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it is true. You know how I know things are bad in Zimbabwe? I'm from Limpopo. I'm shocked that the Zimbabwean people, when they come to Limpopo, they don't turn around, after they've seen what Limpopo is like.
What's
so
it
it
like?
tells me how bad things are in Zimbabwe.
What's Limpopo like?
Full of witches
yeah,
and spells and curses and bullshit, like a whole lot of superstition.
Whoa. That's insulting to a part of Limpopo. Only the Venda people do the potions right. So my grandmother was Venda. Have some respect. The Beddies, not so much. The Beddies are the trust fund kids of South Africa. We are such placid, absolutely run-of-the-mill people. We're like Canadians, just so boring.
The Beddies are the Canadians of South Africa. I love that. That's hilarious.
Boring to death. But the Vendas, Trevor, let me tell you something. If you want to live your life, go and visit some Venda people. Yay, they're electrifying.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. It is all happening up there. All of it.
Like what? I mean, you go there and what do they tell you?
So the one when I went, I remember going with my granny, and I was young. We're talking about a baby here, by the way. Hey? Yeah. No, we're talking about a baby, and I was taken by a woman who is what we know as Sangoma, to be told about my grandmother. But then I remember her saying that it's important that my penis is strong. I'm 6, like 6 or 7. Yeah, the Sangoma says you must make sure that your penis is strong. But to her, it was like, no, we're just talking. Huh? What? Yeah, so that's just a little highlights package.
Child.
But
no wonder we have traumatized people who go around and do house invasions, because they get told by people when they're 6 months old they need to have stronger penises. Like you don't even have time to have an insecurity complex by that stage, and you're already having this shit put in your head while it's still soft.
His earliest memory was being told by an elderly person that he's got a weak erection.
Exactly. Don't tell me that's not going to affect you.
I mean, at 6 years old, the only erection I got was from holding in my piss.
Right. I don't even know.
Were you fucking at the age of 6 in Kosi Johnson?
Well,
how do you even know?
Tina Turner's Carve says, I've missed this Trevor Gumbi since he's become a soap opera actor now. I don't know, soapy actor, yeah. Well, Trevor, you don't... listen, dude, I think a lot of people have missed you doing stand-up, and I'm sure you've missed it as well because,
I have.
geez, people are serious, hey? And we need to laugh more than ever.
Right. Yeah. I can't wait to get back to stand-up, man. I'm working on 2 shows right now. I need to film my previous show, the Divorce Tour, and then I'm moving on to a different show called Strong Decisions.
Strong decisions.
Yeah. I've made a couple of strong decisions in my life, which have turned out quite fucked up. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new Dave Chappelle that's getting all this attention?
I saw 5 minutes of it, and then my kids came in the room, so I had to change the channel to something less jarring. So I put on the news.
It's funny that you think Dave Chappelle is going to be jarring for their kids when they've just survived the home invasion. I mean, I think they'll be okay with Dave Chappelle. I've got to tell you. I'm just thinking. I'm sure they can handle it. They've been through enough. Yeah, I've only heard clips of like the most controversial things. He's apparently the LGBT community is going after him now, saying he's got to apologize because he's now a transphobe and a homophobe. And you can't joke about any of this shit anymore because everybody's super sensitive. Now, let me ask you something. If the people who are claiming that they're marginalized are so powerful that they can force famous people like Dave Chappelle to make apologies, or that they can demand apologies, are they really marginalized? Are you really marginalized if you can make a comedian, if you can go out there and say to a comedian, you must apologize, then you're powerful. You're not marginalized.
Trevor, before you go on this one, I just want to say this is part of being accepted into a society is that you can be ridiculed, right? Is white man, black man, white woman,
Sure.
we make fun of them all the time. So when you want the full spectrum of rights, by the way, that comes with, you are being ridiculed. Everyone gets ridiculed, right?
No, we're gonna make
so
fun
why
of
is it okay when we say, oh, the typical white woman with her bamboo cup? You never ever say anything about that. If you want to be part of our society, understand that by the very nature of being human, you're ridiculous. So you must be ridiculed because we are all ridiculous. And this idea that a comedian has to apologize
It's
to
ridiculous.
a bunch of people is so stupid. I don't know what Trevor thinks.
Let's hear what the comedian says.
Hey, look, I agree with you, but I have to say, just by virtue of being a comedian doesn't give you carte blanche to ridicule people. I personally feel like if I am going to ridicule a person, it's going to come from a point of self-deprivation. I always put myself in those shoes, okay? With Gareth's point about are they that powerful? I don't think the individual is powerful. I feel that the LGBTQ plus society have come together after many years of being oppressed, being killed, being ridiculed. They've come together in their numbers because there's power in numbers. And now they can cancel a person because they've got the numbers. Do you understand what I mean? But I personally,
nobody gets cancelled. That's power. And if you've got power, then you can't claim to be marginalized. It's one or the other. And even if you come together in your numbers, now suddenly you got power. So you're going to what? You're going to cancel a comedian? Try it. Go on, try it. Let's see how that works out for you.
Right.
Also, Trevor, I want to respect what you do.
That's the opposite of rallying people like me to your cause. If you're trying to shut other people down because they're making jokes about you, I mean, no one's running around trying to kill trans people because of Dave Chappelle's joke. I can promise you that. I will nail myself to a cross if anyone actually goes out and kills a trans person because of a Dave Chappelle joke. It's never going to happen.
True.
And also, Trevor, what you do is an art form. We must also take things in context, which is why I'm not really interested in everyone being offended all the time, is that when you are up there, is we are coming to see you as the court jester would do back in the day. You know, the royalty back in the day used to have the court jester. Yes, number one, for their own entertainment, but actually it's to know what the people on the street think about him or her. That's why the court jester used to play that role as well. So you as a comedian are telling us as well the temperature of our society.
We need
is that. We must take you in that context.
Right.
Fuck, bro, you're smarter than you look.
Can I show you something? Let me show you something quickly. Because I also think that someone like Caitlyn Jenner is ridiculous and should be ridiculed. Caitlyn Jenner is a ridiculous person. And if the trans community want to use Caitlyn Jenner as their totem pole, then you go ahead, guys. But don't expect us to not laugh. Look at this guy. This is a guy who's a trans woman who sued salon workers. Remember this story? It was like a year ago because the females who work at this salon refused to wax her balls, and she's lost her case in Canada. So that just happened this week. Yeah. That just happened this week. This man who's still got his balls, big hairy balls, went to a salon and said to women who work at the salon, who are waxing women most of the time, "You must wax my balls." They're like, no, we're a salon that only waxes females. And he's like, well, I'm going to sue you. And he has lost his case, or she has lost her case, or whatever it is, because I don't know what the correct.
Well, this trans woman, I feel like she was infringing on the staff's rights.
Yeah.
They also have rights not to.
Imagine your daughter or your mom or your sister works at a salon, and that trans woman walks in and says, "No, I want you to wax my balls." I would not be happy about that. There's no way I'd be okay with my daughter or my sister having to do that for a job. Sorry.
I'd be okay with my mom doing it because my mom's blind. She feels her way around. She would just thought it's a vagina with the mumps.
Well, by the way, here's the woman who worked at the salon. This is woman. The woman with a huge woman with a hammer.
Why does she have a sledgehammer?
I don't know.
looks like she works at a men's clinic when you walk in with the case of the drop.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's
call the drop.
The drop. What is the drop? Explain.
It's when it's an STD, and the pee hole of your penis gets clogged up with like semen and bacteria, and then the whole thing expands and gets filled with pus.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
when you go into the clinic, they put it on a cutting board similar to the one you cut onions on, and they use a sledgehammer.
Oh man!
To
a sledgehammer. You must be joking.
It's a rubber hammer.
But
this is an old disease. It's like getting bilharzia. When last did somebody get bilharzia or yellow jaundice? I think it died with Nkosi Johnson.
That sounds horrendous. Hey, you're having a real go at poor Nkosi Johnson this morning. I'm not happy about that.
He shouldn't have been fucking at the age of 8, should he?
Oh, man. Yes, Trevor, we forget sometimes with you. You know, a lot of people talking here about TG Squared and how they missed that show. But I don't. Because we used to get complaints every single day from people. And it's still the most outrageous radio show I've ever heard in my life was Trevor Gumbi's show. So if you think, by the way, that any of this that's been talked about this morning is crazy, you missed TG Squared. That show was unbelievable. Yeah, there was nothing.
It's going to come back.
It's going to come back. We're going to make it happen. We're just going to find someone. We're just going to find someone to pay for Trevor's time. That's what we need.
Yeah. I think the perfect sponsor is whoever makes those boner pills sold at Engine.
What? What are you talking about?
You know, on a Thursday night out, when you're going home with something strange, but you know it's a Thursday night, you're not really up for it, so you stop at the Engine, you buy those boner pills. I like to call them match fixing. You buy the boner pills, you buy a Red Bull, and a toilet paper just to disguise your purchase.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are the boner pills. Whoever makes it, I think it's Dr. Long or something strange like that.
That's hilarious.
TG Squared, sponsored by boner pills.
That would be amazing. I think that would be the perfect sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh my
In fact, anything they sell at the garage after 9 should be a potential sponsor for TG Squared.
Yeah. Spinach and feta pies with the guava juice. Let's go, King Pie.
Oh my God, that's horrendous.
It's a perfect ending to a perfect night.
Yeah.
I didn't know garages sold boner pills.
Neither did I.
Thank you for this, Trevor.
News. This is really.
It's behind the cashier, next to the cigarettes, discreetly hidden by the air freshener.
Okay.
You have to point it out.
But I like it now, Trevor. I'm gonna next time if I'm ever out on a Thursday night, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Chief, hey, Chief, I need some match fixing there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Or you know what? Maybe we call it, "Hey, can I get a case of Hansi Cronje?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, match fixing.
You've got to add layers of euphemism to this until eventually it's got a totally unrelated name. And then people,
exactly.
then
like
everyone will
rhyming slang.
Yeah, so then everyone will go, okay, now I know what you want. So here it is. We don't need to discuss this anymore.
Guys, don't fuck up this whole, because it's a ritual for 40-year-old and higher black men after a night of chasing around young girls in the club while you're wearing formal shoes and the gout is kicking in. You got to get to the engine. Don't park at the door or at the window. Park at the pump and just pour like 20 rands worth of petrol while you quickly run in. You ask for the boner pills, but you've got to set up a ruse and ask for one roll of toilet paper, a Red Bull, and a lotto ticket. So she's all over the place. She's not in one place. Because if she just reaches by the air freshener, he's fucking buying boner pills for me.
That's right. You got to disguise stuff.
And then she's going to sleep defensively in a onesie.
This is unbelievable. Oh, man. This is so great. All right. So Cindy says it's not even 6 a.m. here. I'm laughing out loud in the pitch dark. God, I love Mr. Gumbi.
Hey,
I love
Cindy!
Yeah. Cindy, she's been a fan of yours from day one. Ruth says, I love that Trevor Gumbi has not lost his sense of humor after all that he's been through recently. Yeah, dude.
Thank you, rebellious Ruth.
Yeah. And Tanya says, you're hysterical. Tracy says, Trevor's tame today. He's definitely holding back. You think? And by the way, Lucky Mutlapeng says, Trevor is lying. They never used a rubber hammer. It's a myth.
Okay, Lucky, what did they use? Because I never got the drop personally. You've obviously got the experience. Please tell us what they used. I don't think they do it at the men's clinic. Everyone's just soft nowadays.
Yeah. No, that's that. Brandon Pillay says, Trevor is a legend. You see how many people love you here. Tabo Pali says, Trevor is right. I bought Instant Desire from a garage once.
Instant Desire, that's what it's called.
Is that what it's called?
Wow. Instant Desire. Fucking brilliant. Who names this shit?
It's great. Imagine
it sounds like a name for potpourri.
Exactly. Imagine there's a marketing department and it's all like 30-year-old girls who like sit in a brainstorm and I think we must call it this. Now, you know what? Instant Desire is the best. Let's go with Instant Desire. Yeah, that's the one.
The kind of people who'd name a bowl of potpourri Lavender Labia.
Well, here's Tabo. He says, here's another one. It's called Dr. Long's Long Love Formula.
Wow.
That's too long to say while drunk at an engine.
Yeah.
Dr. Long Love. Dr. Long Love. Oh, shit. Dr. Long's Formula. Then you go home with some milk formula for a toddler. Imagine sprinkling milk formula over your cock. while trying to thumb it into a fat girl you met at the club.
I knew this was a good idea. All right, Trevor Gumbi's with us. We've got Mbulelo, you got me, you got everything you need this morning to start your day right. I've even got a bit of load shedding here at home, which is very exciting. And we've really run the gamut this morning. We went into a pretty hardcore story from Trevor that none of us knew about a home invasion he had just a little while ago. And we end off with boner pills. You really get everything you want on the show this morning. And to prove the point, we're also going to talk about something which is going really well this week. I'm not going to jinx it because I know that there's more to come. Here's Sean Sanders from Revix.com. Hey, Sean, how are you, man?
Morning, guys. Morning, Gareth. Yeah, good, thanks. How are you doing this morning? Actually, great, thanks. It's $56,100 this morning in Bitcoin. So smiling from ear to ear.
Very, very nice. And all those people who were all down on the market for a couple of weeks because it was dropping down into the low 40s, even the 30s, they all shat themselves. They all said, oh, we're going to divest now. Let's get out of here. And Bitcoin is back in a big way. What's happening with the rest of the cryptocurrencies, by the way?
The rest of the cryptocurrency market, I mean, up until October, the rest of the crypto market was up about 25% on Bitcoin year to date. And then from October, Bitcoin's been clawing back gains. I mean, Bitcoin, just for reference purposes, is up about 26% in October alone. And this is all on this euphoria and optimism around the Bitcoin ETF in the US. So Bitcoin ETF, just so everyone here is on the same page, is an exchange traded fund that you could invest in through your stock brokerage account, right? So if you're a hedge fund or you're a family office or you are a pension fund or any of these big funds with lots of money, you can't go to the likes of Revix. You don't have a mandate to go to the likes of a Revix and invest in Bitcoin, any of the other cryptocurrencies. You actually have to go to one of these sort of legacy institutions. So that's a huge opportunity for this market. I mean, you're potentially unlocking trillions of dollars that could enter this asset class. And that's sort of, why everyone's now plowed into the crypto market. I mean, the crypto market's back to being worth $2.3 trillion. I mean, phenomenal. That's insane.
And all of this despite China trying to shut down cryptocurrencies, all of this despite many institutions still speaking out and not necessarily being huge fans of crypto. Do you think we've got past the hump where crypto is going to be knocked left, right, and center by, the big banks, by governments? Do you think we're past that now? Do you think cryptocurrencies are so big that they can't be put back in the bottle like a genie?
That's a great question. So I do think crypto is too big now to put it back in the bottle and to say, okay, listen, this is just a fun little experiment that's gone. Having said that, though, there's going to be loads of volatility ahead, right? This is still an emerging asset class. And we've spoken about this on the show loads before. But, you're not looking at something here that's going to be worth $2 trillion if it succeeds. I mean, $2 trillion is sort of where the market's sitting right now. I mean, this is a 10, 15, $20 trillion asset class over the next 10 to 15 years if it continues to grow the way that it's growing. And adoption is increasing, right? I mean, every single day you've got hundreds of thousands of people across the world coming into the crypto space, the penny's dropping and they're going, oh gosh, it makes so much more sense that all of a sudden we don't have this financial system like we have today, where you've got banks that essentially move money between people, give out loans and do all the rest. You've got systems where the money itself actually has, technology inside of it that you could perhaps have debit orders, but that's the money itself doing it, not necessarily your bank. So your money becomes smart. And that's the evolution of money, right? And that's the exciting part and why we want more people to get involved in the crypto space. And I think that leads me into, I did my own segue there actually. So that leads me into then sort of the promo of this week. We are launching a Bitcoin fee-free promotion from Friday in honor of the largest cryptocurrency moving in the way that it has over the last few weeks. So if you buy into Bitcoin, it doesn't matter the amount. You can invest 150 Rand on the Revix platform, or you can invest 2 million Rand. You are going to buy into Bitcoin with absolutely zero fees on our platform from Friday this week. And there's no promo codes or anything. You can literally just sign up for an account, make a deposit, and it's fee-free from there on out.
And let's just remind people, you don't have to have millions and millions of rands to get into this. You can do it with a small, like couple of $100. You can start purchasing your way into the cryptocurrency market and then get along for the ride. It's been an enormously fun ride. I mean, I've been in this since 2013, 14, somewhere around there. And I haven't looked back and gone, oh, that's the worst thing I ever did. Trust me, there were months where I looked at it and I thought, oh, I probably put too much in here. But there hasn't been a single time where I've gone, I should not have bought any cryptocurrency. And if you don't have any, and you still trust government with your savings, or you trust big banks with your savings, I've got bad news for you. Those are not people who've earned your trust, and not people who will show that they can be trusted. Rather trust some decentralized system where everybody's in it together than trust a particular institution. Am I right?
Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, I totally agree with that. And I think maybe just one final point as well from my side. Every week, it feels like every day, we've got customers that come to us, and they either come into our office or they call in and they say, am I too late? Bitcoin is now at close to R1 million. Have I missed this? And, I've said this before as well on the show. I was feeling that in 2014. I was feeling that in 2015, 16, 17. All the years that I've been involved in crypto, it's kind of like, the easy gains are gone. And maybe they are. I mean, I'm not sitting here with some magical ball that I can see into the future. But what I can say is that I don't personally think it's too late to be early in the space. I mean, if you are seeing the space grow into something that's going to be worth $10, $20, $20 trillion, I mean, you're still sitting at, only 10% of that journey ready right now.
Sure. So buy back in if you've gone out, and if you haven't bought yet, then get a little bit. Just get some skin in the game. It's worth it.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, that's terrific. If you want to know what to do, head along to revix.com. That's REVIX.com. And you can verify your ID, add funds, select the bundle of your choice. And before you know it, you're going to be on the roller coaster. And from there on, it's fun. So go and check it out. The Bitcoin.
Before we let Sean go.
No fees today. Yeah. No fees from Friday. And for how long? A week?
It's for 1 week, yeah.
Yeah.
1 week, nice. No fees. Sean, we a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, is a fan of the show and your podcast, and you in particular, obviously because of your brains and everything you've done to build the business. Just so you know, just so we keep it above board. Let's just stick to what that is. But she has said you definitely have a fake background, and I said, I tell you what, I'm gonna give Sean a call when I'm in Cape Town, because I'll be in Cape Town from tomorrow. And I'm going to take a short little video from your office so she sees that there's nothing fake about you. Because a lot of people have been saying, by the way, why does Sean have a fake background? No, he's actually in his office. All right, there we go. Because we've had a lot of feedback.
No, I've said before, we just tried to have a fancy Zoom background. So, when actually it was, and I've said this on the show as well, back, I don't know, call it a year or so ago, some customer called in and said, listen, you've got such a terrible background. Your company's doing so well. What's going on? And I took offense to that. I was like, I'm going out to get a cool Zoom background. And that's what hopefully I've done now.
Okay.
So
there you have it.
Yeah. I'll take it as a compliment. But please come around to the office.
Get ready for Mbulelo to come and ruin your office in the next couple of days. All right. Very good.
No, I'm going to come
through.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks, Sean. Good to see you, dude.
Great, guys. Thank you so much.
Very, very good. Sean Sanders from Revix. Go and check them out today. Yeah, Trevor was. Is that an Iron Man mask on your shelf behind you? Yeah, that one.
You're on mute now, Trevor.
You're on mute. You muted yourself. No, we can't hear you. Oh, did you mute him? Then unmute him. What are you doing? Why did you mute him? How dare you?
Here we go, Trevor. You're back in the game.
There we go. You're back.
Yeah. Why'd you mute me during Sean's thing?
Yeah, exactly. What did you do that for?
No, because we're all listening attentively, and because I'm a professional and Sean is one of our customers, we all need to be muted. I muted me and you, Trevor. Don't take it personally, please. It was just a whole professional standard.
And by the way,
that's awesome.
By the way, Sean Sanders has got such beautiful skin. He looks like an olive dipped in oil. It's so like a shaved peach. It's very attractive.
Yeah. No, Sean used to do modeling. He actually got paid just to appear and to look good.
That's incorrect English, Gareth. He didn't used to do modeling. He used to model.
Sorry, correct. Thank you very much. See, my inferior school that I was at, I wasn't at a good school like you in Mbulelo, so my English.
It shows. Yeah, and it shows.
I know, it's terrible.
Yo, Mbulelo, the SABC did such a number on Gareth. He took his show onto the internet, and now he's taking all his money into the internet as well. He's like, fuck this government. Fire me, will you? Everything's internet-based.
Everything must be. Everything must go. I love it. All right. We got Trevor Gumbi with us. We've got Mbulelo. We got me, you, and we've got plenty more for you in the next hour. Stick around. We got a lot to talk about. CliffCentral.com on, Wednesday morning. Ooh, it's the 13th, if anybody cares about that. Care about the 13th? It's only Friday the 13th you need to care about. The rest you can be comfortable with. Wednesday the 13th is not a thing. No.
We came a long way. We see the light. Time is gone, now we face a new age. Things are changing so quickly lately.
Coming up on Auto Central, 11 different vehicle categories have been ranked, from entry level to family SUVs and even electric cars. In this category, the Datsun Go has emerged as the cheapest parts basket, 74,000 Rand.
So I think it's important to understand what's entry level. So this is the Datsun Go, Hyundai Etos, the Picanto, the Quid, Suzuki Swift,
Entry
and
level.
the Igo. This is
Yes.
very entry level cars.
100%. Catch Auto Central, SA's #1 motoring podcast, every Monday at 9 a.m.
Yeah, boy. It's cliffcentral.com. It's a Wednesday morning. We've got Trevor Gumbi hanging out with us this morning, and there's lots of stuff we got to get into. We've already covered quite a lot of territory this morning. Trevor had the cheek to say to me at the beginning of the show, like, what are we going to talk about today? And I said to him, oh, don't worry. It just happens. And we really have covered a huge amount of material. But I want to ask you guys something about Mark Zuckerberg, right? We know he's a lizard, and we know he's probably, we know he's not human. I mean, so I'm going to show you a video now. He's launching something new, which should make all of us nervous, because he's already part of everyone's life, whether we like it or not. And when that WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram outage happened last week, this time, it was last week, Monday, I think. Everybody suddenly realized, like, you can't actually get along with life. You can't make it through the day without Zuckerberg and his products. So when he launches something, you've got to be aware of the fact that this guy is going to, he's got the know-how to make it happen. Now, lots of people are already criticizing this because it's been done before by Google, and I think Snapchat tried it too. But look at this. Watch this ad of Zuckerberg's. First of all, try to not pay attention to how bizarre he is. He's like a robot, this man. He's not normal. All right. So don't pay too much attention to that. Look at the product that he's trying to launch here and tell me what you think of this.
Hey everyone. We've believed for a long time that glasses are going to be an important part of building the next computing platform and unlocking a whole new set of experiences for people. So I'm excited that today we finally get to share what we've been working on with Essilor Luxottica. We wanted to build something that would enable you to easily capture and share experiences from your point of view. And we thought, if we're going to build best-in-class glasses, a great place to start is with the iconic Ray-Ban frames that people already love. So I'm proud to introduce to you Ray-Ban Stories. With Ray-Ban Stories, you can capture photos and videos, listen to music or podcasts, or take phone calls, all while staying in the moment and without even taking out your phone. Whether you're on a hike, cooking, or just hanging out or playing outside with your kids, you're going to be able to quickly capture that experience and share it if you want to. And this is just the start. Ray-Ban Stories are an important step towards a future when phones are no longer a central part of our lives. The front of the glasses have two 5-megapixel cameras built in. You can activate the camera with the push of a button on the side of the frame. A tap starts recording a video, or you can tap and hold it to take a photo. Or you can just say, "Hey Facebook, take a video," for a hands-free experience. We also built in discrete open-ear speakers on the side of the frames to let you take calls or listen to music or podcasts. We put
basic idea. I'm not going to carry on, but I mean, look at the forced hand gestures. Look at the way he has no expression in his eyes. They're like pools of dark, creosote. There's just no other way to explain that. And he's such a strange human being that I find myself so distracted by him. I'm not even paying attention.
Now you're muted, Gareth.
Yeah. They seem to have done a deal with Ray-Ban where they're now going to make these things. And basically, you'll be able to walk around filming like we need more people generating more goddamn videos.
Take my money!
You want
Take
it.
my money!
You want it.
Fuck yeah.
You like this, Trevor?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a cyborg.
Well, your dream is coming true. Mark Zuckerberg is going to give you a chance to be integrated into the machine all the time.
But now the thing is, how do we stop it from like recording and uploading to Twitter, Facebook when we don't intend to? What if I'm jerking off in the sunlight and I need my sunglasses on, and then it just uploads my wang?
There's going to be a lot of that, I'm guessing. There's going to be a lot of that. The other problem is it's not just about your privacy. It's what about all the other people that are in your video without your permission? I mean, this is already a thing. You're technically not allowed to post a picture or a video of someone else unless you have their permission. Lawyers will tell you that. Obviously, most people don't pay any attention to that because people are so busy filming themselves that if you just happen to be in the background, that's not their problem. But in this, unless you look very carefully, and he does say there's a little light that'll come on in the corner of the glasses. So somewhere over here, there'll be like a little light, and then that'll come on to show that it's recording. But I don't know if I believe that. And people can disable that shit, They're going to. And then you won't know whether you're being filmed or not. So this is James Bond level stuff, because you got speakers in the frame in the arm of the glasses. You got the cameras in the front of it. And it'll connect directly. He says, all you have to do is say, "Hey, Facebook, take a picture." And then Facebook automatically takes pictures or video for you. I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, the thing about Zucks. Yeah, that's a good question.
Where does it end? If you've got so much technology in it, what's stopping from putting a laser to fire at people?
Correct. I mean, he's probably got that pair already in his arsenal. You know what he's like.
Right.
What did you say? What did you say about me? What did you say about me? I'm going to... Yeah, and then he's got you dead. Son of a bitch.
Then you look like one of the most pathetic X-Men characters. What's that guy's name with the beams?
Yeah, with the laser eyes,
Yeah, and the yellow spandex. Can't believe they made him a thing.
Would you say Trevor would buy this? You wouldn't buy it, right, Mbulelo? You're the only one who wears glasses. You could have them fitted to your normal glasses.
Yeah, I mean, these are Christopher Klose. Yeah, I'm not letting anybody touch these. These aren't for bums in Santon. Yeah. I mean, you can only get these in Denmark, so absolutely not. But no big
Yeah,
deal.
look at us. Such a
Limited
big deal.
edition. Tom Brady. Tom Brady's got 7
Oh,
Super Bowls. He brought out a thing, obviously saving the planet as well. Recyclable.
Shut up. Get
product.
to your point. Jesus,
It's so
you
sorry,
great
go on
that
about
you're
your
wearing them in
glasses.
a third world country.
No. But I'm a dictator, Trevor.
'Cause-
I'm a dictator. So they're not available in this country, by the way. So I had to bring them in from Denmark to be very clear.
I think you made that clear. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just to be clear. And also, this is how dictators do it, Trevor. You remember, when you are a dictator, is you must let the people know not only that they are suffering, but you must make it abundantly clear that you are not. You know how the dictators do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's my move as I become Jacob Zuma. I transition. Eventually, I'm hoping to end up as an Idi Amin or someone like that.
That's
Anyway,
phenomenal.
that's not the point. You've derailed me here. Is that no? There's no way. There's no way I'm buying those. That's crazy. And having said that, I do think Mark Zuckerberg, we need people like him, and I don't want him to be normal. If he was normal, what would he be doing? Watching, as said, men in spandex with lasers on their eyes at the movies. We're doing that. We need these exceptional people to push us forward. He is definitely an alien, though. Him and Elon Musk, I believe their people will come and fetch them pretty soon. So he is scary looking, though. He's as scary as Amanda Stavely, who's just bought
He creeps me out the whole time he's talking. I find him so creepy. He's like easily one of the most disturbing people I've ever seen. And I haven't seen him in real life. I think he's probably even more terrifying in real life. Like, he just talks to the camera and you can see he's rehearsed his movements and everything because he's trying to look more human. Someone has said to him, no, Mark, you got to move your hands, dude, because he was sitting there with his hands on his lap the whole time. And it's like, that's even more creepy. So just move them around a little bit. You can see it's all rehearsed.
His human costume doesn't fit right.
Exactly. It's like slips a bit on the eyes, and you can see it's like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta in that Face Off movie. Something's going on there. He's not normal. And I don't want these glasses. I think it's a terrible idea. I really do. I think this is horrible. Well, dude, I don't want people walking around. It's bad enough with the phones the whole time. Now you're going to have people just wearing sunglasses. You're not even going to know, and they're recording you. You're having a business meeting with someone, and they're just the kind of asshole who needs to also record it on their sunglasses with Mark Zuckerberg watching in the background.
Dude, you sound like such an old fart. Like,
I am.
want these newfangled cell phones. How do you have a phone in your hand?
I am an old fart. I am.
Move with the times.
You love
is what's
this.
stopping us from having hoverboards.
It's me.
Yeah, people like you. People.
Yeah.
You people.
Oh, Trevor.
All right. And
The gift of having lizard people live amongst us is that they bring technology from wherever they're from to advance human society. Without them, we'd still be stuck wiping our asses with stones and pebbles.
That's a good point.
all right. Oh my God. I don't know about this.
Gareth, didn't you go to school with Elon Musk?
No, but he does come from the same town as I do. I didn't go to school. with him.
Don't you feel like a massive failure compared to him?
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dude,
Oh my God.
there's so much of that. A huge problem. I think, well, because my mother said to me the other day, this is a story I revealed like a couple of months ago because she didn't even tell me. She says that she used to, as a kid, she was friends with Elon Musk's mother.
Wow.
They were friends. My grandparents were friends with his grandparents. So I should have known him, but we didn't. I didn't know. I never met him. Yeah. See, so I feel a double loser complex on that front. Anyway,
but you've got one up on him. Your father did not go and marry the daughter that he'd adopted, like Elon Musk's dad. So every family has its problems. Errol Musk, he's doing his thing. Yeah,
every family has their problems. This fucking lizard, says Carl, wants us to buy those creepy glasses. I bet he's been doing this for years. Yeah, well, probably right.
Sure.
But who does he doesn't hang around with people. He doesn't have friends.
No.
Michael
It's only
says
him and
this
Musk.
the clone skin coloring is not yet correct. Yeah, that's exactly right, Michael. That's on Elon. It'll be too expensive anyway, says Robin. Probably.
What would be too expensive? The glasses.
Yeah. What do you think they'd charge for that? Because you got built-in speakers, you got built-in cameras. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be at least the cost of an iPhone.
It would be less than an iPhone. The new iPhone's what, 37 grand?
Whew.
It's ridiculous, man.
30,000 rand. That's $2,000 for a phone.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So this is interesting. Creeps are going to be recording our jiggling asses at the beach, says Tina Turner's Calves.
Yeah, that's
and
true. The problem is dudes. Actually, you know what? As you've been speaking, we're the problem. Is what dudes are going to be doing now.
Yeah,
of course. So now ladies can't even go to the beach in a bikini, and now we're basically living in Saudi Arabia. That's the problem. That is.
And they're going to be those creepy guys who will say to a girl, "Oh no, you can get changed here in my room," and they'll leave their sunglasses there while she's getting changed, and then he'll be sitting in another room. That's what's going to happen.
Is that how you jerk off?
No, you idiot. It's the sound.
Oh, it's just the sound. Oh, all right. We can see you, right?
Yes, I know. It comes from radio. Yeah, I come from radio. Sorry, I can't help myself. But you imagine all the places these are going to be misused now. People are going to leave them there, and they're going to spy on their partners, on their friends, I don't like this at all.
Do you think it works that well? Because I remember when I was a preteen, they came out with glasses that claimed you could see through women's clothing.
No, we knew those were nonsense from the start, right? Did you buy those?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Mbulelelo's right. You are the problem. In fact, Trevor, that's why you're so keen to get these glasses, so you can use it for all the bad things, all of them.
You know what's going to get away?
How much I would know if those actually worked. I lived for until I was 14 thinking white women's nipples were stars because of the Scope magazine. You have to sleep with a white woman with a coin to just remove the star before you see her nipple.
Like on a lotto ticket.
Yeah. The Scope magazine fucked me out.
But Trevor, now you've revealed, all of a sudden it's going to be quite awkward for you and your lady now. All of a sudden you want Tandega to come visit more often. You know what I mean? Say, oh, it's summertime. With the glasses. Now your wife's going to be going, why do you want Tandega here so often? And why are you wearing sunglasses when it's raining when Tandega's here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now
people are going to be wearing sunglasses indoors at night, and everybody's going to be, it's obvious that person's recording shit.
Yeah. We're speaking a lot of cons about this, but they've got to be pros for it. Imagine, for example, if they weren't Mbulelo's glasses, not prescription, but we handed them out to every single SAPS officer and every single JMPD officer, and they have to wear them like a body camera. That's a pro which we can look into.
Yeah. No, there's definitely pros. Yeah.
Downsize the JMPD from BMWs to Nissans and invest the rest of the money in these body cam kind of glasses where they can't get bribed. They have to do their job. Shit like that.
Yeah, you think they're not going to put a little piece of something? They're going to say, "Oh, sorry, it must have been chewing gum that just found its way to over the camera." I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. And who's going to be watching all this footage? That's always what I want to know. Forget about police and all of that stuff. Who are the people? Like, I go through my phone sometimes and I see I've got 3,000 pictures on here. That's from the last 4 or 5 years. And half those pictures I haven't looked at for 2 years, right? I haven't seen one of them. Who's looking through all this footage? Who's going to be recording all this? Where is it going to go? Like, you think your content's so interesting that everyone, it's like those people who used to get back from the holiday. When we grew up, Trevor, someone would go on a holiday and they'd take camera footage of their holiday, and then you'd have to watch their boring home movie afterwards. Do you remember that? And no one cared. No one wanted to watch any of that stuff.
Or the
That's
pictures
what's going to happen.
All the pictures that they
Oh.
had printed at the CNA in their nice little
Photo
album.
album. Yeah, an album. You remember when some idiot aunt would get back from somewhere and she'd be like, look at my trip to Disneyland. You'd have to look at all those stupid photographs, and nobody wanted to do that. No one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which raises a good question. Who polices the police? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like you're saying, who's going to go through the footage of
Yeah,
the
who's going to
cars?
watch that? Yeah, exactly.
So, is there somebody who polices the police? Somebody like is sitting in a...
So there's meant to be IPID, the Internal Police Investigative Directorate, or whatever they're called, and they're the guys who, like I think for a while, what's his name, Robert McBride was in charge of them for a while.
Oh, okay.
And then he fell out with the minister. But I don't think IPID have enough people to be watching all this body cam footage.
I think it would be a case of if and when needed to look at the footage.
Right. But yeah, well, then you're going to miss out on a lot of the bribing because they're going to leave their glasses in the car, or they're going to be looking down the whole time and their hand will be extended out. You know there's a way around this. South Africans are really good. By the way, I was talking to someone about vaccines the other day, and I got my first shot 2 weeks ago. I got to go for the next one sometime in November. But I was talking to someone who is very much against the vaccines, and he was saying to me he's just going to get a fake vaccine certificate. He's just going to take 1,000 rand, put it in the hand of the nurse, say, all right, just inject the sofa behind me, please, and fill in the forms as required, because he doesn't like the vaccine idea at all. There are people like that. Don't pretend you haven't met some weirdos in your life. It's not just me. And I wonder about those people, because South Africa is one of those places where you can get anything you want if you're prepared to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Mbulelo's fancy glasses being a case in point. If you're prepared to get on a plane, go to Denmark, buy them, bring them back, you can have them, even though no one imports them. You can do all this crooked stuff. The police, so you get into trouble with the police, so you slip them some money, or you promise them a KFC burger or whatever, and then you get out of your trouble. That's how South Africans operate. We've just got to accept that's part of how we are. It's part of who we are.
No, we don't have to accept it. We need to change that.
accept it.
We need to change that. And I think a way of changing it is we got to start taking pride in what we do. For example, in the States and in the UK, people grow up wanting to be a police officer. That's what they aspire to being as kids, and they work their way up to being police officers. In this country, it seems like it's just a fallback, like, oh, I can't do anything else, I might as well go into the SAPS. We got to make a culture of having pride in protecting and serving your community.
Yeah, I agree with you, but how are you going to even start with that? I mean, look at the Minister of Police, Becky Cele. You think he's inspired? I mean, do me a favor. You got to admit that guy is he's like a cartoon character. No one takes him seriously. No one.
It's a joke.
If aliens landed on planet Earth now and they were like, okay, we got to recruit some humans to help us run things on different planets. Let's look for the best among these humans. Please believe me, they would pass over Becky Cele laughing to the next guy, whoever the next guy is. Doesn't matter who's standing next to him. Any one of us three would be taken more seriously than that dude.
No alien would take you seriously if you're wearing a corduroy cowboy hat in the winter.
Thank you. Exactly. What a joke. This is the guy who the police have to take their instructions from. Imagine you're a police officer who spent 20 years in the force. You've learned how to use a weapon. You've dealt with some very dangerous situations. You've tried to help people. Let's say you're a good policeman, and we do have some of those in this country, believe it.
Yeah, they are. They are quite a few.
And then you get to work one day and you find out that clown is your boss. That's so demoralizing. I don't believe anyone can get over that easily. You go, oh shit, not this guy, please. He's my boss. How am I meant to be better than that?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
No, well,
So
and also
Kanda Kulu says, Gareth, that is why we're on the red list. But we're not in the red list anymore. We actually came off the red list earlier this week, which is very good news. So now all those South Africans who live in London can come back and visit their families. And all those South Africans who want to go to London can go over there now. Because, that's like the biggest two-way street is South Africa and London. It's like more people than you can imagine hopping on planes and doing that every other day. So now it can happen.
We took some Perlamun there. We took some Perlamun on the boat and said, Elizabeth, let's take a seat.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be reasonable, man. We need
Yeah.
you to come to Neisner and see if our cocaine quality is as good as yours. Come on, Lizzie. Plus, your husband's old now. Just come down and let's see what's up. We probably did that. Maybe she likes, who knows? Queen Elizabeth might like Perlamun. We don't know this. Maybe we got it done. Like you said, South Africans will get it done. And
I don't think
she
likes
loves it.
Perlamun.
She loves everything stolen from this continent.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I love this. Listen to this. Dogozo says, being a police officer was definitely my plan. If everything else failed and I needed a job, that would be what I would do. My plan G,
Jeez.
he says. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's all the way down the list. But there we go. A student in my mom's school said he wants to be a metro cop like Mpisane.
Wow.
Okay. After this is amazing. When you fail at primary school teacher, you become minister of police. Yeah, that's about right. Snai Zulu says, I wanted to be a cop when I was growing up. Then I grew up and it wasn't my dream job anymore. So I went into compliance, which is a different kind of policing. Yeah, you're the corporate kind of police. That's what you are.
I wanted to be an aeroplane growing up.
You wanted to be an airplane.
Yeah,
An actual airplane.
yeah. Kids don't know shit.
No.
All my
Have you-
kids know. All my kids know are whiskey kisses. Never mind. My kisses smell like whiskey. Daddy's kisses smell like whiskey.
Tell me, have you had that conversation with your kids about what they want to do when they grow up?
Yeah.
And it's always straightforward, right? It's always like a simple thing. They don't want to be a corporate compliance officer at a major financial institution. They don't know that language because we've made that up. That's not a real job. But they will say, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a policeman, or I want to be a nurse, or I want to be a firefighter, or something like that. Kids always see it much more starkly than we do. And adults have made it impossible to actually know what someone does for a living. You have no idea.
Absolutely.
If you ask people, they can't even fit their job title on a card anymore, which is why nobody has business cards. Because now it says Deputy Senior Vice President of Marketing and Commercial Innovation at whatever it is. And you're like, what do you actually do? Nobody knows what that person does.
Probably filing.
Yes, exactly. But they've got this fancy title that makes them sound very important.
Yeah. So I spoke to my 17-year-old and my 15-year-old about what they want to do. They told me what they want to do, but I was like, okay, fuck you. Do that, but first get your pilot's license. You know? Then you can do whatever you want.
That's smart.
So you're
That's
basically
what
you're just living vicariously through your children because you wanted to be an airplane.
Yeah, exactly. And I still choose all their girlfriends for them.
You do?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Blonde, blue-eyed with stars as nipples.
So again, you're living vicariously through your children. You're basically a very bad father. I'm just gonna say that. I'll be the one to say it. Yeah, the worst. No, my God. So compliance officer is the first thing to get eaten in the zombie apocalypse, says Almost Dead Brigger. Yeah. Well, you guys know that, this is one of the things that I do all the time is imagine the zombie apocalypse. I'm not a prepper or anything. So I don't have,
Yeah, you are.
I do
You
not,
are.
I'm not, I don't have canned food sitting in a, Dropbox somewhere.
Let's see the other side of your room. That bookcase on the other side of the room is probably filled with Bull Brand and cool beans.
I wish. I part of me wants to be a prepper, but I'd be bad at it because I don't know that, you'd need like a whole way of thinking, like escape routes, all that kind of shit. But I do like the fantasy of pretending that I'm in a zombie apocalypse sometimes. And what would I actually do? What place would I take first? Who would I need on my team? Where would I get my ammo and my guns? And what kind of vehicle would I need? Because you got to think this way. I mean, a civilization is a fragile thing, right? And we know that in many places and in many times in human history, People thought they were all safe and everything was fine. And then it all went to shit very quickly. I was watching the most terrible thing last night before I went to sleep. I shouldn't have done it. About the Nazis rolling into Poland in 1939. And look, like the Polish people were having a happy time. They were doing normal Polish things. They were sitting around. They were smiling and laughing.
Exactly. Gareth, sorry to cut you off. Exactly. Same thing happened here in South Africa when the British came. We were happy, chilling out.
Exactly. Yes.
All the women had their titties out. The British came and tried to put stars on our nipples.
Right. This is the theme for the morning. Stars on our nipples. You've never really forgiven those Scope magazines, have you?
No. Sorry, carry on.
No, so these poor Polish people they're playing Ring of Roses in the park, and it's that kind of 1940s half color film that they show, and these people with extremely long names with no vowels in them, because that's how Polish names are, and they're all kind of regaling us with stories about their happy youth, and then suddenly over the border come the Panzer divisions, and in the sky the Luftwaffe, and then you just see this shadow over the land. Like in a J.R.R. Tolkien novel. And then their lives just turned to absolute shit. And especially if you were a Jew in Poland, it just became absolutely horrendous. It went from like a happy life to an absolutely depraved, horrible, dangerous, threatened existence. And that happened over a course of 3 weeks that the Germans took over there. Next thing you know, Gestapo.
Yeah.
Aus! Chase you out of your house.
Achtung!
Achtung! And civilization's fragile, man. Someone somewhere is plotting right now. I think it might be the Chinese to do this to us, and we've got to be aware. So I think this zombie apocalypse thing, you've got to be prepared.
Nah, don't worry about the Chinese, Gareth. Let me tell you something. Is
Who
that
you worried
nobody comes from that far. No, I'm closer. The closest are here to try and take over. We actually, you must always be worried about the people near you. Yeah, the closest are the ones that are coming. Because what have we let now? Khalima Mutlantes had the shine a little bit. Then you gave it to the Zulus. They sold it to the Dubai guys, the Indian guy. Now, let me tell you, closest are making a comeback. Plus, this Vanda guy now is doing whatever he's doing.
I don't want to get tribal on this show, but if I'm going to pick a tribe to side with, it's going to be the Zulus. It's not you.
What have they given us? I mean, we've given you Nelson Mandela, Owar Tambo, and
so
Siya
what?
Kolisi. I mean,
So
what
what?
do you want?
So
You
what?
people are
We've got the taxi drivers.
Oh yeah, no,
We're gonna win.
Yeah, I see.
We're
that
gonna
one.
win.
I do see that.
So speaking of Zulu,
A way of avoiding the zombie apocalypse is if all funeral parlors from now on in start burying everybody with both shoelaces tied to one another.
you're right. That would be such a simple solution.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's genius. We don't need to have guns and military bases and places where we can hide from the zombies. We just need to tie their shoelaces together in the coffin.
Yeah. They're not fucking going
Exactly
anywhere.
right.
It's 2 steps
That's
away.
right.
You know what, Trevor? That is absolutely
Genius.
brilliant. The Scandinavians say simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. You've just nailed it there. You've really nailed it.
Also,
So-
Gareth was asking where you would hide out. So, if you were in Johannesburg, the best place would be Centec Tower
Yes.
for communication. And the vehicle that you drive would be a tank. If you notice, all the highways leading in and out of Soweto and in and out of Joburg Central are made of cement, the concrete highways. That is
Yes.
so army tanks can travel on it, because army tanks struggle on tarmac, but on concrete, they can make it in and out.
I didn't know that. Is that really what they did? The apartheid government? Is that what they did it for?
Yeah, they were smart as fuck.
Sheesh.
All highways leading in and out of Soweto are the concrete highways.
I didn't realize that. I thought they just used concrete because it was cheaper. But there's the story.
Yeah, tanks can drive on that.
That's amazing. Didn't even
Yeah.
know that. Snaya Zulu says, and we were talking about the Zulus just a minute ago, do you know how much I struggle to explain what I do to my family in Zulu? Remember, Snaya is the compliance officer. Nobody knows what compliance is. It's worse trying to explain to the old black folks. You confuse them.
Yeah.
Because
Wait,
basically,
doctor.
a compliance officer is a person who just do it this way. No, stop it. I'll write your name down. So what do you say to your family? I'm a apartheid spy at work.
What did they call them?
Impimpi.
Impimpi. That's right. Snai also says you gave us a 15 million rand football ground, Mbulelo, please. I think you're blaming Mbulelo for all the class.
I didn't say we were
stuff there.
perfect. I didn't say we were perfect. I
Yeah,
just said
that's good.
Oh, that's very funny. That's a good
A
point.
lot of people complimenting Trevor on his ideas to end the zombie apocalypse. Excellent plan and cheap as hell too, so we won't have to worry about that. Lawrence says, if I were to be in a zombie apocalypse, I would try to find a small island where the zombie population can be eliminated and zombies can't swim. Yeah.
Great advice.
Well, but then you see the island's got to be big enough to have fresh water. If it's too small, you're going to die. And then you become a
Epstein's one
zombie.
so Epstein's one, that's not going to be occupied for a while. Probably the place to be, huh?
I don't think a lot of people want to go to Epstein's Island anytime
No,
soon.
he's not anymore. It's
I
fine
know.
now. There's
Also-
no heebie-jeebies.
Hmm?
Also, zombies can't swim, but they can't drown either.
So they just walk up.
Decapitate. Yeah.
Do they walk
away.
on the bottom?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
By the way, I don't know if this is true, but apparently people will, what is it that they say here? The term for compliance officer is mabalani in old people.
Mabalani. Mabalani.
Oh,
Is that
because
right?
Upala.
Yes. He writes names down. Names
Okay.
of people.
Mabalani.
Yeah, Upala is to write.
misbehaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to Epstein's Island because I don't want to be the first to find the hidden laminated room with child semen on it.
Yeah, me neither. That's just horrible. I don't want to be
He's
there.
probably got
Yeah.
a room full of
Oh,
everything
please.
laminated.
Let's not talk about what
It's
Epstein did on that
masturbatorium.
island. Oh my, a masturbatorium. That's an actual name.
Yeah. He's got a big old barber's chair fully laminated.
Oh my God. I love the way we've all just bought into the idea that there are zombies. Like we all just we're proceeding from like established fact that there are zombies. We've never observed a zombie in any scientific or laboratory conditions, but we're all just proceeding with that as an established fact. Yeah, in the zombie, but they would walk on the bottom because they won't drown. That's like we're carrying on as if this is all true already. We don't have anything to prove. It's all happening.
Let's rather be ready
I've been to
than not.
Harties on a Sunday. They are definitely zombies. They just smell like rum and coke.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Jared is complaining about our characterization. Yes, that's amadlozi. That's what that is.
Careful. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, what's Jared saying about?
Jared says zombies are not animated dead corpses. It is living people turned by a virus. You guys will be the first to turn if you think that shoes are the key. Oh, he's poked holes in your theory, Trevor. Now you know. Now you know. Thank you, Jared. Otherwise, we would have been screwed. You see, we thought we
But
stumbled upon
now we need a
something.
solution. Jared can't just say that. Bring down what I thought was a solution. What do we do in the zombie? Because they're coming. That's inevitable. We need a solution.
Guys, can you imagine if tomorrow we start the show and the whole world turns into World War Z? And we've been talking about it like, it's just bullshit. This is not something real. And tomorrow we wake up and the radio's like, and there's nothing on TV, and you hear outside is brains.
Well,
So
that
it
would
would be like, it would be like a morning watching SABC2, listening to OFM.
That's
Nothing on radio, nothing on
That's
TV.
hilarious. Hey, Do you know who I saw the other day? I went to an event for one of our clients, and I saw Leanne Manis. And she's still doing SABC's morning show, Morning Live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She's
And
amazing. I love her.
She is amazing. And she has not, she looks exactly the same as she did when I last saw her, which is probably 8 years ago or something.
Glorious skin. Well, like I
She's
wish
amazing.
whatever her skin routine is, and Sean Sanders, whatever they need to start a podcast about their skin routine. Incredible,
skincare.
Leanne Manis. Yeah.
Right. She's terrific. And she's holding that ship together, man. Doesn't matter what the SABC do or what they throw at her or who's in charge. She just keeps that ship sailing in the right direction. She's really good.
When you see somebody like her, and we often kind of sort of knock South Africa, but when she's important as a figure to go, there's still excellence in South Africa. It still matters. Like a beacon of hope like her still exists. She's brilliant, and she's going to be,
she survived. So she survived doing those Gupta New Age breakfasts. Do you remember those? Where she had to interview like Gupta stooges and make it work. And she did it with a straight face. She was polite. She was professional. You got to admire that about Leanne Manis. She really is good at what she does. Man,
she's a standard setter.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. What an incredible woman. Good for her.
And also that lady, everybody used to joke about her. She was on ETV saying that she's orange.
Who? Not Sakina.
Lady.
Yeah, the investigative journalist.
Oh, Deborah Patta. Deborah
Patta works for a huge American network.
Yes, NBC, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's doing amazing. So she's a great export as well.
Yeah, but she was pretty terrifying. I mean, if Deborah Patta was, interviewing you, you would drop like a rabbit drops those little droppings, because your asshole would be going like this the whole time. You'd be like nervous around Deborah Patta. She was pretty good at what she did.
But I can live with it because in this day and age, everything comes out about everybody. I love people who I'd never ask something of you I wouldn't ask of myself, and she held people to those standards, and nothing's come out about her. So she's for real and excellent.
No, she's real.
So
yeah, she's 100%. She's
awesome.
Good at what she does. Yeah, look,
but
we've got lots.
She does suffer from anal leakage, though. No, not many people know about that. It's all the lemon butter she eats.
You have all the information this morning.
I've seen it firsthand. I was friends with her maid.
It's great. You have so much information.
Deborah Skin Marks Patta. That's what we call her in our circles.
All right,
butter bumps.
It is time to catch up with Jaco Voigt. He's from Catalytic, and they are one of our favorite companies that we work with at Cliff Central. And he's also the host of his show, Unbundled, on cliffcentral.com. He joins us now. Hey, Jaco, are you in your office or at your house? Where are you?
No, morning. I'm at the office. I was an hour early this morning, so it's very strange for me.
Yeah,
I know Mbulelo gets upset about people being late, so I was ready for 6:40. But yeah.
So the funniest thing about like you and Mbulelo, I've heard you two like giving each other shit in the office. It's hilarious because you come in there and you obviously have heard him on the show with all of his, I wake up at 4:30 and I'm so disciplined.
4:15,
I go for a run. You must hear this. Trevor, you'll love this. Mbulelo comes in and he just gives everyone else, he dishes out, because he thinks he's the most disciplined person in the world, right? He dishes out all this disapproval of everyone else. And Jaco doesn't tolerate it. He's the only guy who gives Mbulelo any stick back. The rest of them just go,
Gareth, it's not only Mbulelo. So I wanted to just give you some comfort. I know you weren't at work yesterday, so I made sure I popped into the studio. Just to see if all the clowns are at the circus.
Yes. What did you see?
Like on a Tuesday morning after the show, I call it life lessons. They share information with me, and then I translate it into life experience for them. So, like for example, if you at Monte Casino at 4:00 at the Palazzo, 4:00 in the morning, and somebody offers you a drink, the first question you have to ask is why.
Exactly. That's a good question.
Yeah, That's correct. That's correct. You better have the ammo for it as well, because
And you just go like they've got so many more times around the block that they need to put in. It's actually scary.
People don't see the obvious things, is what you're saying.
I'm amazed that some of Mbulele's friends doesn't get mugged on the way to the office more often, because they seem just so trusting. I don't know. It's bizarre.
He does work with some
anyway,
quite.
it's a work in progress.
He works with some quite stupid people, though. So I mean, that's not entirely surprising.
Well, the bar's pretty low. I mean, if I'm employing some of the people, just imagine what the people below me are. You got to just. But I do want to say on a very serious note, when Jaco comes in here, I do know this for a fact. It is the office's probably favorite day, because he is an electrifying figure. Just when he lands here, and to have him and guys like Kate and them as well as clients has been awesome, and people love it on Tuesdays when he's here.
So Jaco, I wanted to bring you on this morning because we haven't had a catch up for a while. What's been happening on Unbundled, and what's been happening at Catalytic recently? Because you guys are certainly not standing still. There's a lot going on.
So Gareth, we had this, we did this thing that you and Rena and I discussed about the importance of small business, and we introduced a segment called Unbundled Boost, which is specifically, it's a platform that we wanted to create to give anybody that's in a small business an opportunity to just come and boost their show and tell the world about it,
what they do.
And it's been very interesting. We've had from shark barriers to HR platforms to yesterday we had a guy that created a video interview process. So the first interview is a video you record of yourself, and it obviously makes it easier for people to select people. So it's been a very interesting journey. We've done about 5 of those. And it's the one thing that's been very interesting to me is that the Joburg and Pretoria, or the Gauteng-based business, has been slow to put up their hands, and maybe people are more distrustful here and say, but why will we just get something for free? So we've had lots of people from Cape Town, from KZN. Gauteng people have been a bit slow. We've had 2 of them now, but the rest has all been remote.
Maybe that's also because KZN and Cape Town, they need the money more. I mean, like in Joburg and Pretoria, it's probably still a bit easier to do business here. But that's amazing. So you're inviting people on if they've got a business, or they've got some sort of small enterprise that they need to help market, need to tell people their story. You're basically giving them the platform to do that. Sounds like a very
anything
good idea.
From a coffee shop to a restaurant to a doggy parlor to a serious business, whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
Come on and tell the world about it. And what we then try and do also is to see if within this community we can make things real for them. So like for example, the interview platform that we had on yesterday, Catalytic will be one of his customers. So
awesome.
I happen to be looking for people. So
it's you're not just doing it. You're not just doing it on the show. You're actually going to use some of these products yourself. You're going to use some of these services yourself, which is amazing.
Correct.
And obviously,
and then where
you can help them.
It's not relevant to us. I'll try and use my network and intro people. So we had a drone guy on. They do inspections on hectic installations with drones. So we've got a customer that's in the mining business, and I connected them, and we'll, I don't know if something will happen, but we try.
Sure.
So we try and make it real.
It's amazing. And then, of course, with Catalytic, you can also help them get the infrastructure right that they need to be able to operate online.
If that's a requirement, we'll obviously help where we can. Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right. So Trevor's got an idea. He wants to do this thing. It sounds pretty strange to me, but he wants to be able to get out on a stage and tell people jokes and get paid for it. Do you think you can help him with that business? It's something that we've been thinking about.
Trevor, Tuesday a week onwards, come and give it a go, but it's got to be real. So there's got to be a real business concept behind it.
Yeah. No, that's where it falls down, though, I'm afraid.
It's a never been heard before concept.
How will you collect the money? How's the money going to come?
By force or...
All right.
I was about to say, are you going into politics or what's the story?
Yeah, by force. So listen, join Jaco on Unbundled on cliffcentral.com. It's on a Tuesday every 2 weeks on the show. They give Unbundled Boost, an opportunity for small businesses to get a much needed boost. And if you have a business that needs that, then you should be getting hold of us. Just send us an email, contact@cliffcentral.com. We will pass it on to Jaco. A lot of the people who've been on his show so far are people who've emailed me or emailed us at Cliff Central, and then I passed it on to Jaco. So he wants to know what you're up to. We're not going to get this country moving forward if we all just stick to our little silos. We've got to cooperate and find ways to collaborate, and that's how we'll grow the economy. And small businesses are essential to that formula.
And Gareth, I think now that we out of this, well, for all intents purposes, everybody's on level 1 now, probably level 0 in their minds. I think it's time for businesses to wake up and come and grab the opportunity. It's honestly, it's for free. Just come and give us your best story. And like I always say, we're looking for people that's passionate and come and use the opportunity and see if it makes a difference.
Awesome stuff. Jaco, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Good
Trevor,
to see
good luck.
Yeah.
My other idea, Jaco, is more of an environmental idea. I want to get rid of pollution. And the biggest factor in pollution are plastic bags. About check us.
Oh, yeah, we had a discussion with Jane the other day at the office.
You didn't hear this?
Yes, go on. Okay, go on.
So I'm going to open up a soup kitchen with no bowls or spoons. You just put the soup directly into the checkers and then you close it. Then you drink it from the bottom. Yeah, then you shotgun it. Yes. Unless it's got croutons in it, then you kind of have to make a bigger hole and just squeeze it like a hose pipe into you.
I think that's got legs. I'll support that.
Brilliant.
Okay, Trevor, two Tuesdays from now, come and plug it.
You can freeze it as well. Frozen minestrone.
In a checkers.
In a checkers. Come on.
But how much money do you expect to make out of that, or is this just like a philanthropic venture? Is it an NGO?
What did you call me? Man, Jaco, get out of here. You're an NGO.
2 Tuesdays from now, I'll see you on the show.
Right,
cheers. I like this idea with the checkers.
Yeah,
that's good.
Brilliant. Yeah, plastic soup is what we'll call it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Plastic soup for a plastic society.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I am making chili in my bathtub.
What?
Oh.
I'm gonna package it as Gumbi ball sauce. Direct competition to Mrs. Balls.
Trevor Gumbi's ball sauce. Now, there's a product that people can invest in and get behind.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Sold with
right,
a packet of Gaviscon.
Yeah, because you're going to need it afterwards. All right. So Gumbi, when are you going to be back on stage? Because people want to know. Are you doing shows at the moment? You said you're recording too.
Yeah, I'm not doing shows at the moment. I've just finished off shooting 52 episodes of a sitcom for SABC One. And now is the time that I will start planning for a countrywide comedy tour because I need the money and I'm passionate about it. And then I'm gonna film one and hopefully get it onto one of the VOD places that are around.
Sounds amazing. Are you going to be doing any live kind of stuff in Johannesburg anytime soon? Because I think once venues open up and once people don't have a curfew, then you're going to want to go out to these places and drink and listen to good comedy.
Absolutely. I'm doing that. None have been booked so far, but I'm looking forward to bookings coming in this week and next week. If you want to, please follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Both handles are at Trevor Gumbi.
Thank God you've got a normal handle. I hate when you try to look people up on social media and it's not their name.
Yeah, it's the cock wizard at _97.
Right. I mean, what's that all about? Just make it easy for people, for heaven's sake.
No, it's you know what, handled and naming your children. Don't try and be creative there.
Yeah.
There's already, just stick with the Stephen, Michelle, Trevor,
Not
Mbulelo,
fucking
Gareth.
blanket.
We don't need it. Apple.
A lot of people very excited about your hot sauce, hot ball sauce. Will the sauce be salty? Steve E wants to know, will the sauce be salty?
Just enough. It depends on the semen residue left in my bathtub.
Oh, God.
Sometimes it all
Oh.
goes with the J
man.
fluid. Sometimes it stays.
Oh, my God. It's amazing. Chris says, lol, this guy is brilliant. And Robin Badger, it's like Chris has never heard of you before, Trevor. I don't know.
Oh,
'cause
nice
seems to be
meet you,
impressed
Chris.
that, yeah, Chris has not watched TV or listened to anything for a long time. That's why he doesn't know who you are. And Robin says, thanks for making my day, Trevor. Yeah, that's true for all of us. So thank you very much, Gumbi. It's always good to see you. And we will catch up with you in no time at all. We'll see if we can get TG Squared up and running again. We just need to get those people who make the boner pills to sponsor it, and then we'll be fine.
That would be
Right.
brilliant. Thank you so much for having me, Gareth and Mbulelo. It's been a pleasure.
And listen, dude, I'm really sorry to hear about that shit that happened to you in April. I hope the family are all good. And I'm glad you shared the story with us, even though it's horrible.
Okay, no, thank you. It's not your fault. Or is it?
Yeah. No, it's not my fault, I promise. All right. Thank you so much. Cheers, Trevor. That's a lunatic. Oh, my God. What an awesome human being. Michael says, as you said, Gareth, laughter is something we all need more of. The show delivered that today. Thank you all. Happy Wednesday the 13th, which is apparently not a thing yet. But maybe we should make it a thing. Maybe we make Wednesday the 13th our thing, and we get Trevor to come and tell us outrageous, politically incorrect stories. That's what we do on the Wednesday the 13th. I think that's our plan from now on.
He's so free. I love,
Yeah,
because that's what I want for my life. He's so free. I love that. I love that.
But don't think it's all been easy. I mean, Trevor's really been through quite a lot. And I remember I did an interview with him where we had his kid, or two of his kids, in the studio with him. And it was really, really interesting because you got to see him as a dad. And he's a very free and real dad as well. Like, I think he would be an awesome dad for anyone who's wondering what kind of a father he would make. He's absolutely fantastic. He's entertaining. He's loving, he's real. And it was one of the best things I did is watching Trevor just interact with his kids, because he's so good at it. He's just so natural at it. And I love the fact that he also maintains a sense of humor about himself, even when shit goes down and things are really difficult. He's just amazing. Love the guy. Got all the time in the world for him. All right, so thank you to Trevor Gumbi. Thank you to you. And we will see you tomorrow, bright and early at 6 o'clock. Have an awesome day on cliffcentral.com. And thank you to Jaco also from Catalytic. You've got to listen to his show, Unbundled. And if you've got a business that needs some help, you can also it's not like a pity thing. It's like you need a boost, and you want someone to look at you and to hear your story about your business, and potentially to find some ways of collaborating in the business world, growing your community, growing your clients, growing your suppliers, all that kind of thing. Then let us know about it, because we do need to reach out and help each other at a time like this. You can do that by sending an email to contact@cliffcentral.com. I love it. All right. Cheers. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.